Let's try that again. Yum. It's all about the moon reflecting sun. But did you know 12 moons is not 12 months? Salutations from space and aloha from Earth friends. Gemini Brett here with a little pop-up Earth astrology for you today because I couldn't help but sharing on this beautiful Sunday, this day of the sun, that all you need is love. That 1967 hit by the Beatles is a SoliLunar calendar. I made a discovery some time ago, but there was a new piece today. Sue, thanks for being here live. This pop-up time. Kirsten, I see you. And it'd be nice to ask the two of you, because you're in different places, if this sounds like me snapping. Because you never know about the microphone settings and all that. We're going to have to do some snapping today. Good day, Don. Speaking of the sun. Can you hear me snapping? Is there a weird echo? And if I was to love, 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 does it sound good enough? Thanks for those yeses. Sometimes you snap and then the talk goes away. It gets all weird. So I think I found the right settings, and I appreciate that confirmation from some of you who are here live. Right. You know the song, all you need is love. What a great message. There's nowhere you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. It's easy, right? John Lennon, 1967. Beatles are riding a high. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band had just hit the top of the charts after they had been in hiding in the studio for some time. And this is, I believe, the first song that was broadcast worldwide. There was this Our World broadcast on June 25th, 1967, I believe from EMI Studios in London. And they were trying out the new satellite system and beaming the Beatles live everywhere. Though also not exactly, because they had pre-recorded a bunch of tracks to make sure it was on point. Beautiful song, and I remember some time ago listening to it and just saying, wow, cool, the song's in 7. And, you know, we astrologers love 7s, right? Traditionally, 7 planetus, wandering stars, including those luminaries, the sun and the moon, and the other of the visible crew that we watch traveling through the fixed stars, those, of course, being Mercury, Venus, and Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. So 7 and 12, right? 7 planets traditionally for the 7 days of the week, and 12 signs. Well, isn't it 13 months? And the answer is no. It's not that easy. There's many type of months, and it creates pretty confusing trips, especially if you're trying to tame these lights of gold and silver in order to create a calendar whose months celebrate the months. Okay, when I say month, I mean a lunation, like the period of time from new moon or moon sun conjunction through the full moon into the next conjunction. Okay, that's one of the types of months. That's called a synodic month. Synod means meeting. Yeah. And so every month, moon meets sun and earth skies. Now we can't see the moon at that time. Moon is under the beams, in the flames, unless they align at a node and you happen to be in a place where you experience the shadow play of solar eclipse. Generally speaking, a new moon is a no moon. Yes, and it's the next day, maybe 2, where at sunset we see the young moon, the sliver crescent, the helo moon, Diana's bow, born in the sunset west, and then along we go in the month, right? So most of the old star keeping traditions celebrated that young crescent as the first moon of the month first moon of the month. And actually, this is why many of the old calendar traditions began days at sunset, because that's where you first see the young moon, right? And so that's the first day of the month. And if that first day starts at sunset, then of course the next day will be the following sunset, etc. All right. Well, a tricky bit is the period of a lunation, or a month, if I describe a month as this period of lunar phases, is about 29.5 days long. And this creates many challenges. First of all, if you want to create a calendar that aligns its months to the phases of the moon, are you going to have a 29.5 day month? Probably not. You could, right? You could start 1 month at sunset and do 29 of those, and then start the next month at sunrise. But if you want to celebrate that young moon in the sunset west as the beginning of your month, then you're not going to start another month at sunrise, right? You're going to alternate between months of 29 days and 30 days, because that holds that average 29.5 day pace. Now, there's some issues there, by the way, because the average is actually 29.53059 days. But that aside, one of the greatest challenges of keeping SoliLunar time, which is done by the Hebrew calendar, which comes from the Babylonian, which comes from the Akkadian way, way, way back. It's done by the Chinese calendar and many others, right? One of the great challenges is that there are about 12 and a third, but really 12.37 lunations in a year. 12 lunations at this 29.5 day pace on the calendar are 354 days. That's 6 months of 29 days and 6 months of 30 days, where you're going 29, 30, 29, 30, 29, 30, 29, 30. Okay, so 354 days we can call the silver year, a period of 12 lunations. Now, what's the issue there? Well, of course, 354 is not 365. So if you like things like food, because you like things like life, you better also keep golden time, which would be the solar year, the seasonal year, the tropical year, right? Earth, sun. And there's an amazing synchronicity, or synchronization, or realignment of these polyrhythms of silver and gold every 19 years. It's a period that astronomers these days call the Metonic cycle, after the Greek astronomer Meton, even though it's in the keys of these older calendars like that from China and from Babylon. So the trip is that 19 solar years is almost exactly equal to 235 lunations. It's pretty wild that they do synchronize, because of course 354 days, 12 calendar months alternating between 29 and 30, it's about 11 days or 11 and a quarter days short of a solar year, depending on how you're doing your leap year weirdness with the about a quarter day or quarter spin extra beyond the 365 each year, right? So what happens is that after 3 years, you're now 33 days-ish off, 33, 34 days off. And so you add a leap month. But you can't just add a 33-day month. You are either going to add 29 or 30, depending where you are in this rhythm of 29, 30, 29, 30, 29, 30, right? And what ends up happening, and it's quite beautiful, is that, again, 19 solar years are almost exactly equal to 235 lunations. During that 19-year cycle, you have 7 leap months. And so you end up having 12 years with 12 months and 7 years with 13. Hold on a second, partners. I think it's in your room, like buried under a blanket, maybe. Call Anna. See if that helps Scorpiana locate the missing celly. Ways, by the way, that I remember the 19 years equals 235 lunations is that 19 is the sun card of the tarot, and I'm sure this is why. And the 235 lunations, I remember because the tilt angle of Earth, which is the reason for the seasons, is 23.5 degrees. So 23.5, we get to see that 235. Take the decimal away. By the way, it's actually more like 23.4. But if you honor that, you have to know that this would be 66.6. And nobody wants to say that shit. Julie, I see that you reminded folks here to hit the like button. Thank you so much. You could also just touch it tenderly if you'd like. But please do like the video and share it around and call others to the storytelling table if you think that they too would appreciate this work. I sure would appreciate your assistance in battling the algorithm, or sorry, dancing along with the algorithm in such a way that I can receive some assistance for feeding my baby. Okay. Anyway, my baby Maya and I were listening to All You Need Is Love this morning, and I realized that there's this piece, this key that I hadn't yet unlocked in the introduction to the song, and then we'll get into the song itself and how it's a SoliLunar calendar. And it's that, they start with this quote from the French national anthem, Marseillaise, something like that, right? It's bum ba bum 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 ba bum bum ba dum bum ba ba da love, right? And it kicks into All You Need Is Love. So we're gonna do some counting together here, because this song is a really beautiful exploration of time signatures and of time itself, which of course the sun and the moon encourage us to explore. Why was the astronomical tracking begun? So that we could keep the days, So bum ba bum 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 ba dum ba ba dum dum ba ba da love. Right. So if you've learned rhythm before, and you have, whether you have intentionally or not, you will know that most music that we experience, I'd say in modern times, but it goes all the way back, is described musically as 4/4 time signature, which means 4 beats per bar, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Right. Now we also have waltzes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can put 4s and 3s together to make 7s, which is what All You Need Is Love does. In its most kind of simple root, I guess I'd say, but we're going to find that All You Need Is Love is 29 and 30 to make the SoliLunar calendar. Okay, but it starts with this quote from the French national anthem, and it kicks into the song, right? Well, let's count those beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. Love. So there's 12 beats, right? 3 bars of 4. Bum ba bum 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 ba dum bum ba dum bum. Okay, so there's your 12 signs, or your 12 months in a year. But there's a pickup note. Bum ba bum 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 ba dum ba ba doo da ba ba da. Right? So there's actually 13 beats, which is a lot of fun, right? So a pickup note, by the way, is when the music begins before what we call the downbeat or the first beat of the bar. If you're playing in 4, it's that 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. You hear that, right? Counting 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 for the first beat of the bar. It's just a way that in music we keep track of how many bars of a specific beat we're playing. So if I'm playing in 3, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, I might count that 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 5. So I know just like how many bars there are in the structure of the song. You feel me? Star bars, indeed. So bump bump. That's a pickup beat. Bump bump. Bump ba bum two da 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 da. So with the pickup beat, there's actually 13 beats, but it's like 1 and 12, which is just a lot of fun, right? Because again, in SoliLunar time, like if you're keeping a calendar, you will do 12 months in a year, but since those are about 11 days shy of golden time or the seasonal year, the tropical year, about every 3 years, you add an extra month. It's not exactly that, however, as we shared before, really in the great synchronization of silver and golden time, you have 7 leap months during the course of the 19 years. And so it's kind of like 12 months in the year, 13 months, 12, 12, 13, 12, 12, 12, 13. It kind of depends where you are in bigger cycles, like the 76-year Calyptic cycle. It depends on how you're keeping the calendar. It's really cool to, on one level, study these things and how the ancients were doing this, especially like the calendars that have made it all the way through to present time. But I would say even more interesting, like initiating yourself through this, creating your own calendar by following the lights. Okay. Well, I mentioned at the top of the song that there are many types of months. So we've been speaking about the synodic month. Again, synod meaning meeting, like every month, the moon meets the sun in Earth sky, new moon, right? Synodic month, which we also know is lunation, from new moon to new moon, or full to full, or waxing half to waxing half. Yeah, thinking of that actually might be an easier one to keep than the others when that moon has that strange straight line for such a curvy being. I digress. Another type of month we should know about is the tropical month, which is just how long does it take, at least from Earth's point of view, moon to go about us, right? Really, moon and Earth are dancing together as we mutually orbit the sun, right? My friend Paul calls that the father and daughter dance, right? As we're kind of twirling around the ballroom, where the center of the ballroom would be the sun. But we can work with this model of moon about Earth as Earth goes about the sun, right? How many times does moon go about Earth as Earth goes about the sun? Earth goes about the sun in a year. And if we're just looking at moon through the zodiac, right, the tropical month, moon around Earth's zodiac, that's 13 and a third per year, or 13.37, because it takes on average 27.321 days for the moon to go about the Earth. Okay, so if you're keeping tropical months, like moon returning to your personal natal moon degree, or if you're keeping sidereal months, like moon with the Pleiades, back to moon with the Pleiades, there'll be about 13 and a third of those in a year. So yeah, there are 13 months in a year if you're working with sidereal lunations, or sorry, not lunations, sidereal months or tropical months. But there's 12 months in a year if you're working with lunations, if you're working with phases, but there's actually about 12 and a third, or 12.37 And once again, in the Great Metonic structure, what we'll do is 7 leap months over the course of the 19 years. And so we end up having 12 years with 12 months and 7 with 13. Okay. So like a fun thing, just quoting this French national anthem at the beginning of All You Need Is Love is you get 12 beats in 3 bars. Well, maybe the 3 is the sun, moon, and earth, by the way. But there's also this pickup beat. Now, I don't know what beats per minute All You Need Is Love is. I saw some different sheet music this morning, and one of them had 108. But it looks like the Beatles recorded it at 103. So that's just how many beats per minute, right? Somebody else here writes 103.4 beats per minute. So that would go to about 207, right? I was hoping it'd be 108, which by the way is like right there. Like if I was going to play this, make an arrangement of this, we would definitely do it at 108 beats per minute. Why? Because 108 is a magical thing that connects the 2 lights and the earth beneath our feet. Maybe you've seen this one before. And these aren't perfect, but they're very close. The one that is least precise is the distance of moon from earth, which is still greater than 97% accurate when I say this. That, first of all, the radius of the moon is 1,080 miles. Okay, this makes the diameter of the moon 2,160 miles, which is a fascinating thing because an astrological age, if you prefer a system where 12 divisions of the great year, the precessional year, are equal divisions, then an astrological age, like the age of Aquarius, is 2,160 years. Okay, so that's the diameter of the moon in miles. Of course, the radius of the moon would then be half of that, 1,080, 1080. Do you know what the atomic weight of silver is? 108. Silver, of course, the metal that the alchemists associate with the moon. All right, well, if we take that diameter of the moon and multiply it by 108, you get the distance between the moon and the earth. Now, the distance between moon and earth actually changes during the month, a different type of month, the anomalistic month. That's moon Lilith in the charts. It's about 27.55 days. For moon close to earth, far away, and then close again in her elliptical orbit. Okay. And so the distance of moon earth changes during the course of the month. The average distance is about 111 moon diameters between moon and earth, but 108 is definitely in there. And that's the one of these that is least accurate. That's the one that's like almost 98% accurate when we say that the moon is 108 moons from earth, right? So I mean, take the diameter of the moon, multiply that by 108, and that's how far the moon is from earth. Okay. Well, the earth is 108 suns away from the sun. So we take the sun diameter, which is 864,000 miles. And by the way, divide that by 10 to get Jupiter's diameter, but also the number of seconds in a day, 86,400 seconds in the 1,440 minutes in the 24 hours of a day, right? So multiply those 86,400 seconds in a day to get the 864,000 mile diameter of the sun, and multiply that diameter, which by the way is 108 Earth diameters. So the sun is 108 Earth diameters in diameter, and then the sun is 108 sun diameters away from Earth. So again, if I was going to play this beautiful song, All You Need Is Love, which I will show you is a SoliLunar calendar, I would do it at 108 beats per minute rather than 103.4, which somebody online very, I guess, precisely tracked down. All right, so let's get with the song. T. Templar here mentions stupa in 108. By the way, 108 beads on the mala, right? Prayer beads. Half that, 54 on the rosary. We find 108 all over the place, by the way. 108 square feet of grass per free-range chicken. 108 double stitches on a baseball. And we could go on, but I think the sun, moon, earth phenomena much more interesting. And sun, moon, and earth, 3, you know, but here we are on earth, the cross of matter, right? 4. Right. Okay, so again, starting with this French national anthem, or a bit from it. Bum ba bum 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 ba dum ba ya dum dum ba. Right, so 12 beats in those 3 bars, but there's a pickup beat. So there's 12, but there's also kind of 13. Fun, right? And of course, with the moon and the sun, we get 12, but also kind of 13. This is probably why there's 12 signs, but it might be that we have 4 3s and 3 4s right here in the 4 fingers of the human design: Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, 12ness, okay? Or we can do 14 days of waxing if we use the 2 pads of the thumb as well. And then full and 14 days waning. So there's your 29 days of the lunation. 14 waxing to full, 14 waning. Every other month, by the way, we need a symbol for new, because every other month we're going to have 30 days, right? To keep that 29.5-day pace. 14 waning, full, 14 waxing, full, 14 waning, 14 waxing, full, 14 waning, new, 14 waxing, full, 14 waning, 14 waxing, full, 14 waning, new, 29, 30, 29, 30, 29, 30, 20. If you prefer 30, 29, 30, 29, 30, 29, but the Beatles preferred 29, 30. Okay, so here we go. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Boom, 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 boom. Love, love, love. All right, so even there, it sounds so natural, and please, my voice does not, so please forgive me. But they're playing in 7, kind of. All right, so even this first part, there's nothing you can do that can't be done, right? Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. That's 7. So what they're doing is a bar of 4 and a bar of 3. Ba, ba, ba. So hear that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. It's a very natural 7. And I, you know, after you hear this, go tune into the song and do what you can to like dance it, sing it, count it, okay? I wish I could just play it here for you, but of course the copyright would have this thing slashed. Other 7/4 songs. Well, here's another one, Money by Pink Floyd from Dark Side. That's in 7/4. It's a very straight set. Boom, boom, ba-doom, boom, 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 ba-doom, boom, 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 boom. Right, so love, 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 love. This is if it was in 4. So 2 bars of 4 being the 8. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Rest. Love, so, but it's not. Love, love, love. love, love, love. And it just has this very nice like bounce to it. Like waltzes have that, right? It's like dun, 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 dun. Do 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 da bum ba be da 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 dee dee da 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 da. Waltzes just get bouncy, right? And you'll see that when people waltz, there's just that kind of bouncy vibe. So when you play seven rather than a straight seven, and Pink Floyd's Money is a pretty straight seven. When you play seven as four and three, it puts this nice little bounce in your step. Love, 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 love. Feel that bounce. Love, 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 da, ba-doom. Okay, but it's 7 and 7 to make 14, and that would be like the 14 days waxing. Right? Why do I show 5 in your camera and your screen when I say 14 days waxing if you're here late again? Because we can count the segments on the fingers of the human design. We can find 12 right there and 4 3s and 3 4s. So for those of you who astrologize, right, we get the triplicity and the quadruplicity. Again, that's Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, 12ness. But then the thumb has 2 segments in the human design, right? And we also get 2 in the 2 hands. So 14 days waxing between new and full moon and 14 days waning, okay? But that full moon is a day, right? So there's really 29. And as we've been discussing, there's really 29 and a half. And the way that I believe, intentionally, the way that the Beatles address this is through creating the song whose structure is 29 beats and then 30 beats for the 2 parts, for the verse and the chorus, okay? So we've been kind of halfway through the verse in 2 bars of 7, making 14 beats. There's nothing you can do that can't be done. There's nothing you can sing that can't be sung. There's nothing you can... Okay, so this next part is not 7, it's 15. They do 3 bars of 4, right, to make 12, and then 3. So, love, 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 la, la, bum, ba-doom, bum, ba-doom, bum, ba-doom, ba-doom, bum, ba-love, love. You can feel that bounce again, right? That's just kind of like cutting a beat out from where we might feel naturally. Boom, 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 boom. That's like would be the way that most of us would write that song, or most of us would even like remember that song probably if we're not really tuned in or haven't cracked the code yet, because we're just used to really feeling in 4s. Go to the dance class and you'll see the teacher 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. You know, she's counting half beats in that 4-bar structure. But so let's say boom boom ba doom boom ba boom 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 ba doom boom 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 ba doom do doom boom ba doom boom boom ba doom boom ba doom. So that boom ba doom boom ba doom. But that's not what they do. Boom ba doom boom ba da da. See how it truncates that, right? So it's boom ba doom ba. It's boom ba doom boom ba da. That's that 3 beat, right? So love la da da ba do da dee 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 ding 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 da da. So that's 12 and 3 for 15, right? So they go 7 7 15, or we might call it 7 7 8 7, right? And so the verse of All You Need Is Love is 29 beats long, right? Go check it out. Go hear some of the best singers ever. In this case, John Lennon is the lead singer. He wrote the song. But of course, McCartney gets his cut because they had made this deal. So Sun and Moon, Lennon and McCartney, you know, that whether it was a Lennon song or a McCartney song, usually one of them would add a piece to the others, but you know, John Lennon might just write a song, but McCartney still gets his name on it. McCartney might just write a song and John Lennon still gets his name on it. Pretty interesting. All right, so 7787 for 29 is the verse of All You Need Is Love. And then we go to the chorus. All you need is love. It's, where is it? Oh, it starts on the 2, which is fun because sun and the moon. All you need is love. All you need is love. And all you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. There's this, it's 7 bars, so they do 7 again, but now instead of like 7 beats, a bar of 4 and a bar of 3, which they utilize in the verse, but again, it's not just a clean 7. 4 3 4 3 4 4 4 3, or 7 7 8 7 for the 29. In the chorus, they do 7 bars of 4, right? So 28, which most people think is a month, right? Like brought to you by the makers of the pill, right? And there's a reason why the week is 7 days long, and that's probably because a fortnight is 14. But unfortunately, you can't say 28-day months because the month is 29 and a half. Right? So sorry, February. But we get that in this chorus of All You Need Is Love because they do 7 bars of 4, and that's 28 beats. Right? So that part just sounds like a little bit more, well, normal, frankly, because it's just in 4. All you need is love. Where's it? So boom 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 boom. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love is all you need. And then after those 7 bars of 4 to make 28 beats, there's a bar of 2. And there's no lyrics there. You really just have to hear it. Just listen to what happens at the end of the chorus. All you need is love, love, love is all you need. Let me actually put something on the screen here. A Brett inside a Brett inside a Brett. By the way, Constellations is the School of Astrology's membership group. It is incredibly reasonable at only $16 a month. There's a different teaching every week in regularly scheduled community discussions, and I hope you will go to GeminiBrett.com and well, book a session with me at the Sessions tab, or click the Community tab to find out more about Constellations and give it a try. Come join us in there. This is the Our World broadcast recording for All You Need Is Love. I guess it was at 12 p.m. So we get a Virgo rising chart right in this very revolutionary time of the 60s with Uranus and Pluto together as we know. Here, interestingly, we have Moon and Sun in conjunct, right? They're in signs that are quincunx, signs that are said to be blind to one another. I mean, I will share about that, however, that geometry between quincunx signs is 150 degrees, and this one's more like 140, or really even 139. You know, I can't not find out what harmonic that's in, and the answer is the 13th, if I did my math right. Let me just test that. This isn't something I've looked at before. And this isn't the time to introduce what harmonic astrology is and all that. But yeah, actually, we get Sun, Moon, and Neptune all gathered together in the 13th harmonic chart. Isn't that fun? Right. So 12s and 13s. How about 45? Because this is Venus at maximum elongation from the sun in a very creative sign of Leo. I did look into that before I started recording this because I saw that Venus here in the amazingly radiant, creative, loving Leo was so far from the sun that it's their time of maximum elongation. And I rewound the clock, I think it was June 20th that Venus reached her maximum elongation from the sun in this particular cycle. And the Beatles had begun recording, like writing actually, the song 11 days before this broadcast. That's so amazing. Oh, by the way, 11 is in the sun, moon, earth phenomenon too. The diameter of the moon is 3/11ths the diameter of the sun. Now, if you really want to have fun, watch what happens when you divide 3 by 11 on a calculator. There's that 27.3 days of the tropical month. And if we divide 11 by 3, we'll get the days 366 in a sidereal year. Amazing. Okay, anyway, so there's Venus at elongation, which is fun. I might have requested that we wait for Libra to rise, but it was certainly rising somewhere on Earth. Oh, probably in, well, Germany, where the Beatles really cut their teeth when they were young. Let's go look. Hamburg would be a more appropriate place if we're in Beatles lore. Nope, still Virgo rising, but further east, Libra rising. And this was a world broadcast, so you really get all of the signs. Here we get Virgo rising, and look at this strong sextile from Mercury to the ascendant. Or speaking of love, of Mercury trine descendant. That's fun, of course, in a Virgo rising chart. I'm looking to Mercury. We love the Mercury trine Neptune, or this Uranus at the midpoint of Mercury, Neptune, and I could go on and on and on. One thing I will share is that while Moon and Sun are in conjunct, yet in the 13th harmonic, they are 5/13ths away from one another. I think, if I remember right, a 13th of the zodiac, interestingly, is like 27, not 0.3, but 27.7 degrees, and 5 of those is 138 degrees. Yeah, which would be this distance here, almost, right? But a thing I did see, like Moon is very far from her node. Actually, I had seen that Moon was out of bounds the day before, which was when they released the All You Need Is Love single, with Baby You're a Rich Man on the B side. But check out here, we can see that Sun and Moon, well, I guess I have my orbs too strict, but if we look here, we'll find that the declination of the Moon was just about as far south of the equator as the Sun is north. And that's a type of relationship and declination that we call a contra-parallel. So I like seeing the Moon and Sun connected because clearly I've become convinced that all you need is love is a SoliLunar calendar. All right. Which, while I'm here, I'm noticing that Mercury and Jupiter are almost perfectly parallel, which we will see in this grid. And this is why I shouldn't open a chart. Venus and Neptune in almost a perfect contra-parallel. Jupiter and Pluto, because, you know, charts are so endless, and I want to get back to, counting beats, perhaps. So what I wanted to show you that, though, and of course this is just going to look totally foreign if you haven't learned to read sheet music notation. Before I get into this, though, I just want to make sure you can see it on the screen. So I'll stop the share and just check the comments. I'm going to ask you now. Can you see me circling all you need is love and a bunch of sheet music there? Let me stop the share and make sure that's going down. Yes. Okay, cool. Thank you, Don. Don, appropriately named. You should be the first to respond, given the nature of the rising sun. Okay, well, let's figure out how to get that back on the screen. So you don't need to be able to read sheet music to see some of the things that we were just speaking about. Okay, so here's the introduction. Bum ba dum 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 dum. Love, love, love. Okay, so that's what I was describing before is the pickup beat, right? See this measure line right here? Because 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's that 12 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in this Marseille intro, National Anthem of France intro. But with the pickup beat, there's actually 13 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3. But we'd still feel 12, okay? All right, now when we get into Love, 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 what you'll see is the song at the top of the sheet, they say 4, 4. Okay, what that means is 4 beats per bar. And actually, it's really kind of beautifully shown here in that first measure from the National Anthem of France, right? Boom, ba dum, boom, 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 just straight up 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Things get a little bit more rhythmically interesting in the da, ba dum, da, 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 da. I don't sing this one long enough ever. It's good to be reminded of that. All right. Anyway, once we get to love, love, love. Fun thing there is you can see the pulse here, 1, 2, 3, 4. But these are called half notes. So they're half of the measure. They're each equal to 2 beats, right? And again, sun and moon, you know. Sun, moon, earth. Sun, moon, earth, sun, moon. All right. So what you'll see here is that bar of 3. Okay, so if you change the number of beats in a measure in music notation, you need to notate that. In a sense, you don't, because this half note, which is 2 beats, with that dot, a dot in music always adds half of the value of a note to that value. So a half note's worth 2 beats. So a dotted half note's worth 2.5 of 2, which is of course 3, right? So anyway, in a sense, like, you might not have to write that, but you do. Them's the rules. And it's a lot easier than to kind of show you this thing that we've been investigating here, okay? Because you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2. See how it goes back to 4, 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2. Okay, so there's those 14 beats, right? That fortnight. 4 and 7, or sorry, 4 and 3 to make 7. 4 and 3 to make 7. And now we're going to go 3 bars of 4. 1, dun, 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 and a bar of 3. Bum, ba, bum, bum, ba, bum, bum. And then it gets back up to here, just at least rhythmically. So we're going to turn the page to see the next thing so we can check out the chorus. But there's that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Right? So 2 bars of 7 to make 14. And then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So we get 12 and 3 to make 15, right? So in other words, 14 and 15. Or I might say 7, 7, 8, 7, right? 29. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Okay, so the verse is in 29. And now, there's nothing you can do that can't be done, right? So the lyrics kick in, but it's that same form, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 3, right? 7, 7, 8, 7 for 29. Now we get to the chorus, which starts here. All you need is love. And so this is just in 4, right? You won't see any of those 3 4s kind of breaking it up. Oh wow, but this is a shame because they're missing 2 beats, which is actually why I opened this thing up to show you. But let's just, so all you need is love. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's those 28 beats. But sadly in this sheet, and it must be on the next page, which I can't go to because I didn't pay for this, there's a bar of 2. Now, that being said, I did find another sheet. I didn't like it because they changed the key. And it's kind of showing multiple parts at once. But regardless, we're going to go there now so I can at least just show you this 2-beat thing, and then we'll wrap this up today. So buttons, buttons, buttons. Okay, here we go. Right, so let me go to a place where I can move forward with this. This is going to make it a little bit bigger on your screen. But now I have the spinning beach ball of craziness. Okay. Yeah, hopefully we're there and you can see me waving my circle around. Here's again the intro. So the pickup bar, 12 beats. I do like how that all shows up on one line. Bum ba dum bum 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 ba bum ba bum ba dum ba ba ba. By the way, this is wrong rhythmically. That's how I sing it. But listening to the recording today, there's the beat here is a little bit longer than that one. Regardless, 13, but really a pickup beat and then 12. And so fun again, because are there 12 months or 13 months? And the answer is yes, but usually 12. Okay. Love, love, love. And so here we get to see just the 4 and 3, 4 and 3. There's our 7 and our 7, right? Now it goes to 4, 4, 4, 3, right? So that's the 12 and 3 to make 15. So we get 7 and 7 to make 14, and then the 15. So there's 29. Yeah, I actually like how this one's laid out more. And then it's the same form. Once John starts singing, there's nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. That's 7 and 7 for our 14. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. That's 15. Okay. Now, nothing you can make that can't be made. No one you can save that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be you in time. It's easy, right? 29 again. So in this case, he does 29. Well, there's like 29, 29, and 29. So that doesn't really get our SoliLunar calendar because we want to alternate between 29, 30, 29, and 30. But that actually does happen in the middle of the song. So let's go into the chorus here. All you need is love. All you need is love. Who said you need to change notes to make a melody? Oh, da, 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 da. It's just the same note, right? Monotone style. But then it's not. All you need is love, love. All right, so look at this. 1, so here's 4. We're in 4 now, right? So 1 bar of 4, 2 bars of 4. Let me make sure. I can also just read this. Now let's just read these top ones. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bars of 4, And then there's this 2-4 bar. Okay, so that's what was missing on that other sheet and why we needed to go here. So the 7 bars of 4 making 28 beats, and then this 2 beat, it's like boom, boom, ba-dum, dum, boom, boom, boom. Nothing you can know that can't be known. Nothing you can show that can't be shown. Nothing you can see. Wait, no, nothing you can see that isn't shown. That's beautiful. Nowhere you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. It's easy, right? So we then do 29, 30, 29, 30, and then the outro, which is so crazy, right? It quotes from like Greensleeves, which by the way is a song in 3. Quotes from Glenn Miller's In the Mood. Right? With it quotes from a previous song from the Beatles, one of their old songs, She Loves You. It's pretty fun and like wild in that outro. But that outro, it's hard to count, but I'm pretty sure they do 28 bars of 4 on the way out. So you kind of get 28 reference again. So there you go. Hopefully you've learned something about the wild ride that it is to try to tame the cycles of the sun and the moon into a calendar that actually aligns its months with the phases of the moon. It's just not as easy as we might like it to be. And by the way, people who tell you that there's 13 months of 28 days, la 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 la, I can't hear you because you're just so wrong and the moon doesn't 28. I love the suggestion that we need to realign our time with the cosmic cycles. Yes, but when somebody suggests you do that by having a 364-day year, which the year is not, through 13 months of 28 days, which a month is not, go away. Okay, and they'll tell you that every indigenous culture ever had a 13-month calendar. No, they didn't. Not at all. And all we have to do is follow the lights, and we find that, well, it's kind of hard. When you play it right, it's easy. Thanks for spending some time with me, friends. Please do like the video, share it around. That really helps the channel out. Look, we had a baby. I'm freaking out. I'm an astrologer. How am I going to make enough money to support my child? Support the work. You can book a session at GeminiBrett.com. You'll find a donate button there if you'd simply like to buy me a cup of tea. I'd sure appreciate that. And I really hope you'll check out Constellations community. Many of you wonderful beings that I see here are already in constellations, and we get to meet regularly to explore the sun, moon, and earth, and many more. Happy Sunday to you, everyone. All you need is love.